Rotational constraint. Assembling objects or components by using the constraint tool. So we're going to assemble components by using the constraint tool, and we're going to use the rotational constraint. So we're going to go up into our assembly tab. We're going to go in our relationship panel. We're going to choose constraint. In the constraint, we're going to go to the motion tab. In the motion tab, we have a rotational constraint. So we are to select essentially two different objects. So I pick on the first object, I pick on this object here, and then in the second object's already highlighted, so I can select the second object. I pick here. I have two different solutions. I have forward, as one turns, the first one turns, the second one turns in the same direction. Or if I flip them in reverse, when this turns one way, the other turns the other way. The ratio is how many times we turn the first one is how many times it equates to having the second one rotate. So if I put 2 in here, then we're going to get twice the spinning. So I'm going to put a little 2 in here. All right. And I'm going to hit apply. And now I'm going to close this. Now you don't really see anything, but you want to test it out. You're going to come over to your first selection, hold down your left mouse button, and drag it. I'm holding my left mouse button down, and it turns twice the rate in which the one on the right is turning twice the rate. All right. And so if I want to go up to show, I say, oh, there's my rotational parameter. I right click on it and say, there's I want to go to edit. I can come back and say I want to change the ratio to 1. I say okay. Now as I spin it, each time I spin it, I get a rotation of 1 unit. So let me flip around here. So I get a little rotation going on here. All right. So let me give a different view. So I basically have a gear situation by using the rotational constraint on our constraint tool. So in the constraint tool, I go to motion tab, use the rotational constraint, choose the two different objects. The first object is the power one, the second one is the driven one, you can say. And then we have forward and reverse as a solution, and the ratio of how many times you turn the first one is how many times the second one will turn. All right, so this is placing a rotational constraint on our constraint.